Hi, welcome to another edition of Entertainment Elite. I'm Andrew. This is Todd. We're going to start off our show today a little different. We're going to do a brief moment of silence for Matt Hughes' career.
Yes, bow your heads.
It is great sadness for us, so we're just going to go ahead and get it over with. Anyways, moving on. We're going to be talking for one quick second about the UFC on Versus card. We're only going to talk the main event. I think everybody knows Dominic Cruz is going to win, so we're not going to dedicate a whole show to that.
That's basically it. Dominic Cruz is going to win on Saturday. Outside of that, whatever.
The main purpose for this show today is our UFC 136 predictions. There's 4 big fights on the main card. We're going to talk, Melvin Guillard, Joe Lozon, Chael Sonnen, Brian Stann, Jose Aldo, Kenny Florian, Frankie Edgar versus Gray Maynard. We're going to start off with the Melvin Guillard versus Joe Lozon fight.
I'm going to go with Melvin Guillard in this one. He's been steadily climbing. He's always been a very inconsistent fighter for a long time, but I think he's finally sort of gathered himself and really focused on his career at this point. And this is a big opportunity. Dana White has said basically if he can get past Joe Lozon, there's a title fight on the horizon for him. And I think he's finally at that point where that's really what he's focusing on in his career. And I think he's going to get the job done here on this card. So I'm looking at Melvin Guillard. I'm going to say... I want to say knockout because he's had a lot of great knockouts in his career, but I don't know if he's going to knock out Joe Lozon. I'm going to say it goes to third round stoppage, TKO.
I like Joe Lozon. I think everybody really does. Nobody has a problem with him.
Great fighter.
I think Melvin Guillard is a more developed fighter than Joe Lozon. It's not taking anything away from him.
He's 46-9?
Something like that.
Melvin Guillard, it's ridiculous for his age.
So we're going to go ahead and pick Melvin Guillard. I'm going to go second round, probably TKO. Really would like to see the submission come out, but I really think it's going to end up being a TKO.
Yeah, Guillard's always been strikes his whole career. He's great with his hands.
Moving on, we're going to talk Chael Sonnen versus Brian Stann. Todd's favorite fighter is Chael Sonnen.
No, he is not my favorite fighter. I just thoroughly enjoy the fact he annoys everybody with his mouth. And I personally would love to see him fight a Brazilian fighter and get murdered after all the stuff he said about Brazilian fighters.
Oh, yeah.
But nonetheless, he gets to fight the All-American Brian Stann. So this one was tough for me because Brian Stann's got it in the stand-up. Everyone should know that.
Without a doubt.
If Sonnen can take him to the ground, Sonnen's going to ground and pound him and he's going to win this fight. I mean, he's going to... It might be a little chintzy cheap shot over and over again like he did to Anderson Silva, but I figure if he could take one of the greatest strikers, if not the greatest striker of all time, in Anderson Silva and hold him down for 20-plus minutes, he can do it to Brian Stann for 15. So I'm going Chael Sonnen by decision.
Here lies my problem with that. Okay? I think Chael Sonnen is not strong enough to hold Brian Stann down. I think that if he tries to take him down, he's going to succeed. And I'm not saying that he's not going to keep him there for a decent part of the fight. I just don't think he's going to be able to hold him down in any way, shape, or form. And I think it's going to go back to the stand-up. So my personal pick here is I'm going to pick Brian Stann by TKO. I'm going to say second round, maybe third round. I don't see Chael winning this fight. I mean, I like Chael. He's a good fighter. He's very irritating. But
I think you just want it to be Brian Stann by knockout because he hates his mouth, and that's fair.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm going to be the realist and say Chael Sonnen's going to take him down and ground and pound him for the win.
No.
Though I can't deny I wouldn't mind seeing Brian Stann knock him out either because Brian Stann's a great guy and Chael Sonnen's annoying as hell.
Yeah. I honestly think, though, that it's going to be Stann by TKO in the second round.
All right, so Stann TKO, Sonnen by decision.
And just for the record, for any of you keeping score, that's the first time we've ever split on a fight.
I believe so.
Since we started doing these shows.
Pretty much.
Moving on, we're going to talk Jose Aldo versus Kenny Florian. And just for the record, if Joe Rogan watches this, his name is pronounced Jose, not Jose.
Yeah, not Jose. Jose Aldo, please.
Anyways. We would love to see Kenny Florian win this fight.
I would love it.
You will never find two bigger Kenny Florian fans out there, and we would be the happiest people on the planet if he won this fight and won a title. The only person that would be happier about that is probably Kenny himself.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people, I think, as far as true UFC fans, that would love to see Kenny Florian win a championship. Problem is, Last time he tried to do it against BJ Penn. Now he's trying to do it against Jose Aldo. I mean, it's like,
yeah, it's
you're really not giving yourself an easy road there, Kenny. I don't. Not that any of the champions are exactly pushovers right now.
If anybody watched the Jose Aldo versus Uriah Faber fight in WEC, Uriah couldn't stand on his leg by the time it was over.
He was just those kicks that Jose Aldo's kicks are lethal. He did the same thing pretty much to Mark Hominick for a good majority of their fight at UFC 129, which was a phenomenal fight.
The Mark Hominick bubble.
Yeah, the giant bubble on his forehead.
He grew a second head, folks.
Yes. But, at the same time, and the one reason that I give Kenny a slight shot is that Jose Aldo gassed out at the end of that fight.
I agree.
Fifth round, he was entirely just being owned and controlled by Mark Hominick. Problem was, Mark Hominick had been destroyed for the previous 20 minutes, so he really had nothing left in his tank either to finish Jose in that round. And that's the problem. Jose Aldo is going to do the same thing to Kenny. He's going to murder him for a long duration of this fight. I mean, his striking is lethal. He's got fantastic ground game.
I don't want to know. It's not that I don't want to know. It's like I don't really know where Kenny would have the overall advantage in this fight.
I don't know that he has one.
I want to say the ground game, but no. I mean, Jose's never really went to the ground and been held there, except for against Mark Hominick. And up until the fifth round, Jose had the advantage there. Mm-hmm. Jose's strikes are so fast.
Yeah, his ground and pound with the speed with which he can strike, amazing.
His kicks are, I mean, he'll kick your leg completely off and not even flinch. So I'm gonna go Jose Aldo, probably by TKO. And that's a stretch.
I'm going to say this fight is very much like the Jones-Rampage fight.
Yeah.
Where you have the veteran UFC guy in Kenny Florian and the young up-and-coming guy in Jose Aldo. And it's going to be a very similar result. Aldo is going to beat him, I'm going to say third or fourth round stoppage, either by submission or strikes.
I was going to go with third round, probably. I'm going to say maybe submission. I would like to see the TKO come out. But, and again, we're not saying we don't want Florian to win.
I hope he does.
Let's go, Kenny.
This is what I think is going to happen, not what I want to happen.
All right, so we got Jose Aldo, third round stoppage. All right, guys, now we're going to talk Frankie Edgar versus Gray Maynard 3.
Which is the fight I've been most excited about since January 1st when Edgar Maynard 2 happened. Because in my opinion, it was the greatest fight in UFC history.
And for anybody who didn't see that fight, YouTube it, whatever you got to do. Find
UFC
that fight
125,
and watch it.
Buy it on DVD because
it is fantastic.
So good.
The whole card is great. Frankie Edgar gets destroyed in round 1 and fights back to a draw.
Yeah, I mean he got 10-8'd in the round.
At least 10-8'd.
At least, if not worse. Yeah, he got demolished and then came back and won round 2. He received 97 strikes in round 1.
Yeah.
Gray Maynard connected with 97 strikes in round 1. And he still won round 2 after all that. And then round 3 and round 5 were really up in the air. He won round 4 as well, and that's what brought it to a draw. And it was just an amazing fight. And I'm so excited for this fight. Yeah. Edgar Maynard 3, it's going to be awesome.
As far as, the breakdown of it, Gray Maynard is, I think, in my opinion, a superior wrestler, only because of his strength in the division. Mm-hmm. He's so much stronger than the guys in the 155-pound division. I mean, Frankie's a natural lightweight. Gray could actually probably fight at 170 because he cuts the weight for it.
Yes, he does.
So he's so much stronger, and that's what gives him the advantage in the wrestling. But in 125, you saw Frankie pick him up and slam him Matt Hughes style.
Frankie took control of him with takedowns numerous times in that fight.
Absolutely.
He wasn't scared to take Gray Maynard to the ground.
And
a lot of that could be Gray Maynard was a little bit punched out after throwing that many punches in a round.
I wasn't going to say punched out. I was going to say that after round 1, Gray Maynard's, his confidence was gone.
It might have been that, too.
It was like he looked brokenhearted.
You land 97 strikes on a guy and you don't beat him, which shows you Frankie Edgar's heart right there.
So, as far as the striking, I don't care if he landed 97 strikes. I'm giving the striking advantage to Frankie. He's faster and more accurate.
After that round, he settled down and his strikes were crisp. They were fluid.
Gray Maynard may punch harder, but Frankie Edgar is going to punch you faster, and he's going to hit you more times.
Mm-hmm.
As far as how this fight's going to turn out, I'm going to say Frankie Edgar by decision, because I don't think anybody's going to knock out Gray Maynard.
Yeah, I don't think this fight can go to a finish. I really don't. I mean, these guys are so evenly matched, as judged by their previous fight. They're both at the top of their game, and they're not going to make the same mistakes that they made last time. So who knows how this is going to go. But I definitely see it going to decision, and I am going to go Frankie by decision. I mean, his confidence is beyond what a lot of fighters are at. I mean, he beat BJ Penn 10 straight rounds. They were both fights were decisions, but he won every single round, and that really gave him confidence going into the second fight with Maynard. And he really wants to avenge that loss and draw. He really wants this win.
Absolutely. And
so
if
much.
anybody saw their first fight, this is a whole different Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, it's a whole different Gray Maynard. They're both way different fighters than they were the first time they fought, because that was quite a while ago. And this is going to be, in my opinion, if it doesn't top the last fight,
It'll definitely be fight of the night.
it'll be fight of the night. It has potential to be the fight of the year for sure.
But in it being fight of the year, it's got to go up against their first fight.
Yeah, it's got to beat Edgar Maynard 2.
Which, in my opinion, absolutely. It's definitely going to go. It has to be in the top 3 or top 4 for fight of the year. It's Todd's favorite fight of all time.
It is. Anyone out there, if you want to comment, tell us your favorite fight, your best fight in UFC history. I don't know that anyone can top it. I really don't.
That would take a lot of effort to top that fight. But that's our UFC 136 predictions. We got Melvin Gillard. He's got Sonnen, and I've got Stan.
Both have Jose Aldo. We both have Frankie Edgar. I think it's going to be easily
one of the best cards
of the year, possibly one of the best cards in a really long time.
It has potential to be one of the best cards of all time.
And the best part about it, there's even really good fights on the prelims, because you got Anthony Pettis and Jeremy Stevens.
Absolutely.
You got Damian Maia's on the prelims against it's Jorge Santiago. Yeah, there's great prelim fights even, so it's going to be an amazing event.
So that's what we got for you this time. Again, we need the subscribers, comments, whatever you want to do. We're all for having conversations with you guys. You can find us on Facebook, Entertainment Elite 1 at hotmail.com. Sign up for Twitter, ENT Elite 1. And we'll see you guys next time. We're probably going to be breaking down the heavyweight division at that point in time, because it's horrid right now. And also the big Brock Lesnar-Alistar Overeem fight coming up. Obviously, we have to break that down. So it's going to be a great time. Go Alistar. See y'all next time.